I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is February 10, Tuesday, 2025. Hope you had a good day today. So we discussed here pulling back into this inversion, a potential inversion, bearish imbalance here, and then just retracing back, breakout area kind of thing, very similar to Monday, and then pushing up, right? And then another option that I was mentioning is also pulling back deeper if we are mimicking the 5-year data, which might be the case only because of the fact that, and we don't really know how far this pullback is going to go. Taking this low out or not is the question. Do they present as speaker? I forgot about CPI tomorrow. To mention it yesterday. Not CPI. NFP tomorrow, which I don't really understand that. And then CPI is on Friday. So one of the issues about trading today is the uncertainty and the back and forth. Speaker / hunting for liquidity type of thing, right? So in that case, when you have that problem, you got to tread lightly. Today was a losing day for me, so a little annoyed about it, but same time, it's practical on something like this. So I don't think it's funny. I make a 45-minute video and then I forget to mention about tomorrow being CPI, but I mean NFP. But anyways. So what was the logic? Well, you can see that we rated that last high of lunch, right? And then we retraced back. Now look, I'm taking the first imbalance from Wednesday and I'm dragging that out, okay? Wednesday is a high probability imbalance, so is Monday, all right? First of the year and first of the months and first of the quarters technically, but I don't, got to go that far. Do the back testing, no. But look, you really think that first imbalance, man, I don't know. I don't understand why they do that. You would think that they would fix that. So you think the first imbalance from Wednesday, today is Tuesday. We also obviously hit it on Monday too, but you think that we came to 50%? Let me move this over just so you can see. Do you think it's hovering and then knocking the 50% right there today like that on by coincidence? No way, dude. Look, man. Right? So what is the logic here? You're framing your day. What are you doing? Well, we have an idea that we're bullish, first of all. We understand that we're in this 4-hour imbalance and we want to use this as support in a sense, right? This bearish daily. And because there's some easy liquidity here, but we are in a different kind of climate, so you never know, that might pull the rug. I mean, with this is not pretty. I haven't seen price action like this in a very long time, hence the losing day even. But the great thing about me today is that I knew when to stop. So I didn't go on tilt, didn't blow an account, I'm not taking massive losses. And when you know when to quit and walk away, dude, that's the superpower. You can, let me tell you something. If you're not profitable yet, or even if you're new, the goal is you're gonna take losses. That you have to accept those losses, but your losses are very small. And when they're small, you know that when we take a trade, we're gunning for 10x. I mean, it's not specific 10x, but we're gunning for 100 points minimum, generally speaking. 50 to 150 points is an average range for me when I'm taking a trade. So when I take these small losses that are 10 points or 15 points back to back, well, listen, you already know I'm going for 100. So and with that understanding that my wins are gonna always be better than my small losses. But you have to know how to keep them small, and you have to know when to stop, period. This was it for me. Let me get into the video. So you see where we're bouncing up and down, and here, this is an expansion, and then this is a retracement. So we're consolidating because we're going back and forth, and in a consolidation, in that phase of price, you expect some type of raid and then an expansion after that. So very similar to yesterday, when we retraced back into that breakout area and balance. If you don't, go watch yesterday's video, so it makes sense for you. But that right there, this was the same idea here. I didn't draw it, but there is also an imbalance right there. You see that? You see there's I don't know. I gotta maybe just draw it. And oh, by the way, coincidence. I got a new mouse. It just got delivered, and I'm waiting to. I'm gonna install it after this video. So another issue of today was I don't know what possessed me to keep trading, and I was just wanted to trade, but this mouse, it's not registering when I click. I have to click it fucking 3 times. And dude, we're traders. Imagine your mouse not clicking when you need it to click, bro. We're pushing buy and sell, or fucking putting buy stops and sell stops and all this shit. Like, oh my god. Bam, bitch. That man, let me tell you something. That shit hit the 50 on the dot. So let me see. Yeah, I got it right. Yeah, you see that player? You see that pimp? Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. So this is the same example, right? That we were talking about. In a consolidation, you expect a raid and then push up. Sometimes it doesn't raid, and that sucks when it doesn't. But it'll be a higher low, and you're expanding back up. In this case, it was a raid here, and in that phase of price, you expect an expansion after. So in that being that the case, that's a breakout area. Why? Because look at this 15-minute candle. Look at the high that it made. You can see that, right? Look at the high that it made at that 50% of that gap, by the way, not coincidence. And then we bust through it here, right? You see that? So right here, they're coming back. This imbalance from Wednesday, they made the price come back on purpose just to create the structure that it's so it could sit there. So then it can get rated. Okay? So they put this low, and this higher low. They put that all there. They're using that first imbalance from Wednesday to create that structure. Then at 9:30, we rammed it. We rated it, right? And then what did we come to? We came closer to that 50% of this daily bearish imbalance. That's going to be an inversion if we're bullish potential. I mean, obviously, we're missing it. We didn't hit it, but I'm talking about by the 9:30. But the point is that they came in, they rated it, and then we tagged this concept that I just mentioned fucking yesterday. I mean, it's literally identical. Okay, cool. Right? Because when it's coming down, you want to see like where's it going to stop, sort of thing, and you want to say, okay, well, here's a down candle here. Here's that 50%. Here's that imbalance there. We're in a 4-hour as well, if you look at that, and then on the 1 hour, you're also in a 1 hour, right? So I understand that too. But to refine it, just on a 15-minute is good enough here. And then even if you looked on a 5-minute here. This is how I make videos long, but I know it's fire though. You see this right here? So this example of like high, low, higher, low, and then you break up, and it's just pretty much like constantly buying from there. And that this is the logic of them coming back to that breakout area. I mean, you can't make that up. It's tagging the 50% perfectly, but it's referencing the 15-minute. And why is the 15-minute, if you're new, why is the 15-minute the best pretty much time frame there is? It's because of the fact that it's the best average out of all of them. And it's just, that's kind of like my opinion. But let me go back to 1 minute so I can make this short. I really want to make, I'm sorry I'm making these fucking 40-50-minute videos. I want to go back to 20-30 minute. But I just am explaining so much. And okay, so you get in the order flow. They're trying to get you trapped. You have the midnight level here in the orange. That's the long line. Then you have the daily open right here. And then anything below that is the buy, and anything above that is the sell. If you're sitting in a neutral day, today's actually a bearish day. But the logic is that we're looking for a raid to push up. So the price comes down. First of all, when you see these type of candles, these indecisive candles on the 1 minute back to back, you got to be very cautious. So this is step one of saying this is going to be a fuckery type of day, or beginning at the least, right? So guess what? Then you get this 933 candle. It comes down and it closes. So you generally you don't want to see that when you're buying. That's number one. Number two, where is the price? Consider to this price action up here. It's the 930 is up here. Not like yesterday where the 930 was more down here when we bought up. This is sitting up here. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say is why you don't want to buy it, right? They're also, let me go back to this here. They're also building liquidity here. So you can see, where am I at here? So the previous day high, and then they made that high, which is over here. Over here. Sorry, here. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Here. So after 7 o'clock, you're going to see that the algorithm is going to be hunting highs and lows. So after 7 a.m., which is the New York Open, we rated the highs first. Okay, up here. We rated these highs. We didn't have to take out the previous day high. After they did that, they came down to take out these lows. Right here, right here, right here. And they fucking made an equal low here. Beautiful. Look at that. Then they popped up and 930 was here. Well, could it have went up straight? Sure. But it would have went out without me. Why? Because I'm not buying in a premium. It's already in a premium. Now, it's very rare that it would do that, right? Because what it'll do is the option of that is either it'll rate up and then sink right back down, which it did here. Or if it's really strong and then it's like, fucking gone, like old school Dow days, with news. But I mean, you would have to see closed candles and all that type of, and that I'm just talking to you about basic like price action theory, right? Experience with that. But that's the clues here of it not buying. Or should you want to buy even? So the point of this is that we come back underneath the 930. We use it as a resistance, not 930, the settlement. But either way, that's like this up candle right here. The opening range gap is being used as resistance, and it's two small candles here. Does it continue? No. Does it start to sell off? Yes. If you're buying it and you're wrong, then go the other way. In this scenario, that would be the case, but you can understand these equal lows right here, dude. Like it's very clear that we're going to come and raid that. But anyway, so this is also a dump and pump profile in general, but because it came back down, this is a shakeout. This is the days that you do not want to fuck with. But again, why it's very probable to trade in the first hour of trading. Because anything after that is like, or not even 30, not even an hour. I would even say even less than that. Damn near 30 minutes. So the first 30 minutes in this situation is where you want to take your profit. So if you caught the sell, this is their first imbalance right here. We're going to dig in right into it. You see there's an imbalance right here below it. Why do we not take that? Because it is a discount higher, or it is it's higher in the range. You don't want to, this is very risky to be taking this trade here, but allow it to come in there. Notice how it just pokes in. Doesn't need to seal it. They don't like to do that sometimes because they don't want to give you another entry to sell. So they dangle the carrot of making a breakout level. They don't hit the midnight. That's fine, whatever. We're also now below the opening day gap in the midnight level. Anyways, we dip in right there. You see that? We get these drives here. We finally take this liquidity. And then I take this buy here, and my fucking mouse wouldn't work correctly, dude. It was a shit show. It was a shit show. And then took the loss here. This was a nice trade because this inversion here could have worked out, but we shouldn't be coming back this low with this 947 candle, which is fine. They wanted to have another raid, so you get the 3 drives. 1, 2, 3. General speaking, I won't count this drive only because it didn't take out any lows yet, and then when it's down here, it took out this low. This is just being impatient when I took it, but it looked like a good trade. Then it came down, and then it rated again, hit this level, and then this candle happened, this 950, which is time is involved. The macro is kicking in, which is when you should be rating to be trade anyway. It's 950, it pushes it up hard. Now I'm trying to push the button, and it wouldn't work. My fucking mouse would not work, bro. I was about to throw it out the window. It's my fault for even trading with this fucking mouse anyway. But I had to wait for the new one to come in the mail, and it came in. So beautiful mouse. By the way, it's the X Master 4 for Mac. So I had the 3S. I got the 4. But anyways, it's a sick mouse. But anyway, I think it's because I dropped it like, some months ago or something. But anyways, what was I gonna say here? So I was trying to get into this trade, and sure enough, it shot this high. So I couldn't get in the trade. Then we were bouncing on top of. So what are your entry methods here? Because obviously when you're pumping, you got the built liquidity that they built. You also have that high, and you have, I'm just going to squinch out real quick, that high. So there, and the 930 high, and then all the shit that they built, right? So, I mean, this is my model. This is my favorite model that I trade, right? And it's just a general, like, pullback and expansion. Sometimes you won't get the dump pump. It'll just pump first. If we're bullish, it'll pump first. It'd be a buy, sell, buy. So it'll buy, retrace, higher, low, buy again, right? So that's the other variation of a bullish day, generally speaking. And those are more rare. This is more common, which is why I love this as a model. So, so anyways, this fucking candle here, this 950 pushes up. Now 951 bounces on top of that inversion, and it's in the upper quadrant. Doesn't even hit the 50, which is a big sign of strength. But the problem is that I got to put my stop loss down here. And for me, that's tough to deal with, right? But the other entry method would be this candle here, these two consecutive down candles. So this is your change of delivery once you pass those two candles and we close up here. I know we're buying. I mean, like, I know we're coming to take this out, but it was just fucking impossible for me to get involved. So that was already my shit show. Look at that. So what's the open here of this candle? The open of this first down candle that it's consecutive is going to be 301 and 3/4. Look up here, right? So what is this? This is 301 and 3/4. What's the low of this candle here? 302 and 1/4. That's 2 ticks above. So there's two things that's either going to happen. I'm not giving you free game here. Okay. So there's only two things that's going to happen here. It's generally speaking, it's going to go inside the candle below the open a tick or two, or it's going to, be perfect, and that's not very common, but I mean, it is, but, or it's going to buy from ticks above it. Matter of fact, it could have just hit the top of this candle here, like as you see it doing here with 952. See that? So, you can put a limit order here, and then, or even a buy stop. I like a buy stop order when it pushes through, but maybe you get a discount if it comes lower. This is a part of the game. You don't know what it's going to do. But if you try to put a limit order here and you miss it by a tick, you're asked out, right? So you have to deal with that situation. But the point is that it was so strong and it was bullish that, I was like, okay, cool. But I still was trying to push the button. It wouldn't work, dude. I was just like, fucking can't believe it. Never experienced like that in my life. So that won't happen again. But anyways, so we push up, man, and we push up, and then, if it's selling, it's not going to be here, right? You're not getting these strong closure candles. You're not going to get these consecutive momentum candles. Look at each 1 minute candle, right? Beautiful. But then you take a look and you see this, look where this 953 and 54 close and open right there. Literally on the midnight level. The what do you call it? The first imbalance is nested almost on the 50%. That's another clue that it's going to be like in a ranging situation, right? And also the small ass opening range gap is also a thing too. So, but then what do? This 955, we sweep the low of the opening day gap at 6 p.m. So, because anyone's pushing buy as soon as it tries to push past that level, and vice versa, coming down or coming up for it. But anyways, going up here, we're trying to get to that liquidity here. And yesterday I did not draw this, by the way, but there was a gap here, an old weak gap. I just drew it today because it was on the 15-minute, but it wasn't on the 1 minute. And notice how we are sitting inside that and we're knocking on it. And we can't really close past it with a smaller time frame candle. Well, the 5 minute it did, but the 15 and higher did not. So it's showing weakness with the wicks and all that. But the point is that I'm measuring. You can see me measuring this swing from the high to the low. So forget the candles itself. I could do that, but right now I'm just showing you the actual swing. Very obvious swing. Plus we broke it. Plus we close above here and we sweep back in, and that's a beautiful model there. But it's just a lot of risk. See, I just pushed the mouse 3 times and the fucking screen wouldn't move. I got the new one. I'm gonna install it right after this video. But you can see the 2 to 2.5. We hit the -2 beautifully right here, right? So this is, but you know, to the left here, we just poke right above the previous day high and we come right back in. So that's it. I mean, and it's a small range day. So that was the other issue. You know, you got a low here of what, 250, let's just say, and you got a high here of 450. So like 200 points range initially in the AM session, and then now we've came down. So from 450, we came down here to 196. So another 50 points. So it's been 250 point range today. And if listen, if you're not going to get since it was only 200 points this range today, and it's early, we've already got a low and a high in the day. Do you see that other 50 points being above here, or do you see it being here? Well, obviously we want to see it up here, but there's going to be a point where it's wrong, right? But again, as you see, well, let me just finish the video and you'll understand. But this 955 candle, fucking, we dip in it. This is you know, who wants to buy that as well, right? It's a straight shot. They're not giving me a real entry that I can use besides what I just explained down here. On a smaller time frame, I'm going to go to it too. I had an entry on the 15-second, but I was just having super issues. I believe there was one. No, not right here, but here. So it was just see this? So this is to show you the strength. Look at the 3 candles in a row. All of them, all imbalances. That's another key. And then you can see this on a smaller time frame. If I was to draw an imbalance here, you'll see that we tap in it. See this candle here? See if we tapped in it right there, and that was the trade. But I was like, dude, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like all the way up here, you bitches. So it's okay, whatever. But so anyways, who wants to buy this? And it could have been a buy, yeah, because we have not taken out the liquidity to the top side, the buy side. So this was a good buy, but it's just like it was too risky. The new 4 o'clock candle the new 10 o'clock candle just opened up. So yeah, you expect an expansion, but it's like, it's just too much in a premium to buy from here. Sure enough, what do? They blow through more manipulation. You're like, dude, and then it slams back hard. Why? Because they know this, just so you know, this is a model. This is, you don't have to do any other model or trading for the rest of your life. What you can do is always catch these last minute moves that are going to take out liquidity. So for example, this liquidity here that's sitting here, when we slam down like this and then you get a retrace, you sell that, right? You sell it because they're going to come and raid down. It's kind of like the second stage of a buy model or a sell model, meaning it's the last stage of it raiding, and you're catching it. Once it comes in here, it slams through. Look how they retrace back real quick here. Why? Because they know motherfuckers is selling right here, because they know they're going to come take this out. This is the same logic here. When you have that liquidity and we haven't taken it out yet, you're using that imbalance. See, I didn't draw it, but there's a bearish one there and there's a bearish one here, right? Well, this is the first imbalance, but there's one there and there's one there. So it tags into that one. Where you could have even used this as the bodies is sitting in. Oh, it doesn't matter. The point is, this one is the last bullish imbalance before it fucking takes off. So what do? They come real close. They pull in. They're pulling in upper quadrant of it. Body's upper quadrant. Pay attention. And then what does it do? Leaks up slowly. You can see it. You can see the bodies are starting to kind of go up. And then this candle right here, this 1006. Look at this shit. Boom. So, and you could just have pushed buy here, rated, squeezed up, take the fucking profit. You're automatically done. You can literally do this for the rest of your life multiple times a day. Happen for the sell here, happen for the buy here. And, oh, you don't say. So here's another example of like the low here. You're coming, the prices came this low. So you notice here, if you try to pull that shit here, that's why they push up real quick. But then you break again. You make a lower high. So notice how there's drives up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another fifth one. Boy, they're trying to get you. So I usually don't count the first one. We'll just say 1 here, and then this is 2 here, but this 2 has 3. If that makes sense for you. Point is that it pulled up, but it's still gonna make lower highs. So if you tried to take that same logic here. All right, where would that imbalance be? You would say here, because you don't see an imbalance over here. You don't see an imbalance here. All right, you're gonna say, oh, well, what about that one right? Hold on. You're gonna say, what about that one right there? It's so minute, right? And then it's just very fickle. I mean, as far as the price action goes, but here's one. See, I'm clicking on it twice. I just clicked on it 3 times. Oh my god! I can't wait! I can't believe I traded with this dumbass mouse. Today, I just clicked on it 3 times. Twice there. 1, 2. Oh my god! Anyways, so we get this push up, and it's bullish, dude. And most likely, they're not gonna leave this low here when the price action is this low. I mean. Because here's the reason why I'm saying that is because when it's a consolidation, the next phase is expansion, but you want to raid. So it raids and it expands and it stops right there. Look to the left of the chart, by the way. What are we doing when we're coming up here? Well, we have the liquidity that we made yesterday, which is Monday's high. But then you also you look at your opening range gaps and you have it empty. You see how it's empty? Remember on Wednesday we just sold right off? Well, that's an inefficiency, just like a gap, just like a liquidity void. If there's no price action that was in between the settlement of Tuesday, the 3rd, and Wednesday's the 4th open at 9:30. In between that is a gap. So it's just like the pink void that we sealed here. And remember that little gap up here that we sealed as well. Those are equivalent to gaps, no price action. So the algorithm, and if you go ahead and extend those levels, you'll see it work up there. But that's what we were doing. We were coming up there to squeeze that. And then if you take a look at what that level is, I don't have it marked or anything. I'm just gonna ballpark this. Look to your right. Oh my god, I just clicked on it twice. See that? You see how you see how we seal it is what I'm saying. And it might have missed it by a hair, but I think oh yeah. I don't have it perfect, but you see how it's like ticks away, bro. You see what I'm doing here? But the point is that that's an inefficiency, and as soon as it gets to that area, it slams back down. Why? Because that was what their goal was. So, that being the case, this is dirty. So what happened is when we slam down, we sweep back that open of the day here, this level right here. Fucking how many minutes is this? 30 minutes. We sweep that level real quick. We almost hit the first imbalance. We go up, pretend like we're going to buy. And then it's a little trend line. I end up buying this motherfucker. Because I was like, nah, I'm not buying this, bro. And I was about to. But I was like, nah, I'm good. I ain't thirsty. So I sat back. It slams. I'm laughing. It sweeps here. I was going to buy this. I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't like that. I expect another drive down. I don't like just one pullback and then pushing up. It's very suspect price action to me, right? I'm just what I'm trying to say. Sure enough, this fucking thing, bouncing up and down comes. And look how deep it comes. Okay, sweeps this level again. We're still sitting inside this. Oh my god. We're still sitting inside this imbalance. So I'm like, okay, it's still valid, but let me see some more order flow. So we get a push up here. We get an imbalance here. We dig in it and we come up and we raid it. I fucking try to get into trades here. So I'm buying this. Come up, failed. I'm like, bro, no way. Comes back down, slams. As soon as this is failing here and we come underneath this and I'm done. I walked away completely. I said, you guys can fuck off. Because I knew what time it was, and it was just like it was about to be a shakeout. So sure enough, look at the rest of the day, grinding back down. Listen, the beginner trader of me, I used to buy every single one of these motherfuckers pulling back, buy it, and it's like you blew your account, right? So here should have waited for another drive momentum, cool. You buy this, you could squeeze it and take the profit, but never buying this. But if you did, it's wrong. And then you're thinking like, okay, well, you're getting their drives back. 1, 2, 3. I was like, maybe they're going to pull it like that. Now we come back into the first imbalance. So if it's going to be a shakeout day, an indecisive day, generally speaking, you're going to come back to these prominent levels, which is the midnight, the first imbalance, the opening day, the 9:30, and we're just fucking back and forth with it. Coming down here was what they wanted to hit the breakout level, guys, and this is something I used to do as well. I used to sit and buy this, so consecutive candles, and they're buying up. I'm like, dude, you motherfuckers, are you guys really going to buy it from here? And it's possible, but they came out to that breakout area. Right? Not a coincidence they come back to that, oh my god. They're coming back to that. Okay, so the thing is that once it starts pushing back up, it's killing some of this. The structure here, if this fails, back to what I was saying, normal consolidation, you want to see a raid and expansion. Okay, that's the phase of prices, a price. Now, but the problem is the only time it reverses from a consolidation is if it raids the top as well. And you're going to say, well, dude, which one is it? If it's going to raid the bottom and raid the top and come back in, what the hell? This is called a speaker. It's called the shakeout. And it's called the price action the day before event tomorrow. And also where it might be a deeper retracement than we thought. I don't trust this as well either because it's pretty much sweeping just this high. Like at least this was like a little bit deeper. Like this wasn't even that deep, but I mean, this is to me very shallow is what I'm saying. And the reason of, and not buying here, this would be just shallow to be trying to buy something like that, right? But the next time so if it fails, the only time a consolidation is, you're never going to get reversals from consolidations unless it raises the top and pulls back in. So notice they did the objective here that we just talked about of sealing that. Okay. They left that there. This is giving me more bearish vibes than anything, to be honest. But at the same time, it could just be wanting to come a little bit lower, right, for the breakout areas here, because there's many. There's one right there. There's one right there. They came to that one. So, but point is that if it raises and pulls back in, this is me being impatient. It could have worked, sure, but it had to have followed through. So once it failed, that's why I knew I stepped away because I'm not selling this. I'm bullish. But I also mentioning to you that we're in a neutral situation because we're sitting in the middle of these ranges. Look how we came to the 50% of the max range here or the control range. Do you see it? Look to the right. We're tagging on it today. That's why this is still on my chart. I also measured this range. Where's 50% of that? Right there. Where's the price action? We are dancing on it, right? So we're in a consolidation, a major one. And it's anyone's ball game. I don't know if it's going to take out this high or this low, or it's going to have an inside week, but it's going to be some crazy shit tomorrow or Friday. I'll tell you that. So tread lightly. You don't need to trade. It's not a big deal. But point is you can see the body sitting on that first imbalance. See that? So -1 here. We're pulling back in. We obviously wanted to get up into here. This is the first imbalance of the year. This is the first imbalance of February, and they're just happen to be next to each other. So, did we just get another pullback lower and then buy from here? Possibly. Again, you want to dictate what happens after, monitor that 50% level from that daily bearish imbalance there, which we want it to be an inversion, but if it comes underneath and it's using it as resistance, then we're back to bearish. Period. There's nothing else I need to say there. I need to, anyways, that last moment, that idea that I was giving you, popping into an bearish imbalance, and then you see it's trying to pop up. It's really dirty. But then look at this. Look at this candle right here. Look at this here. This 3:03 p.m. New York time, Eastern time. Now the 3 o'clock candle kicked in the power hour, rushing for that liquidity that it built, because people are dick hard to buy this. But if it's this low, dude, you're not only you're rating this, but you're rating that. So where could you have entered? So I make videos long, but they're fire. I know it. Trust me, I know it. Because ain't nobody doing this. So it's for free, especially. But here, you could, like, for example, right? You see it about to bust through. I'm giving you a very small goal there. Look at that. That's a almost 3R. So let's just say 2.5R example, because you could use that as an inversion. You could, so it pushes up and then it's an inversion bullish. So you're underneath it. Scary. You don't want to buy it, but when the price is trickling down right here and it's pushing for, what do you think it's going for? Obviously, it can go more. You get the drives down, but the point is that this right here, how many points is this? This is 30 points right here. 30 points. Bro, you can live for the rest of your life 30 points a day. Easily. Even 20. Depending on your leverage too. I mean, dude, that's, So, just giving you, like, these models, those are beautiful models right there. Okay. Now I've fucked up. Damn. I don't know, man. Fuck. VIX, just back and forth. Stupid price action. Go do the research on the highs and the lows here, but just super dirty. Dollar, pretty much just sitting there and stagnant. And we also had what reason why this is a great buy is, lower lows here with Nas, higher lows there. So beautiful push up. We got up here. We had lower highs with Nas, higher lows, higher highs here. I'm sorry. It was a higher high. I drew it on the wrong spot. It was a higher high here with S&P. And then lower highs there. But either way, even if you just use these two, there's a divergence there. So then they took off and sold off, right? Here's another one here. How we sold off from this situation here. Lower highs with Dow here, and then higher highs, faking the funk of pushing up, and then they came back down. So where's the signs on the wall? You're breaking these lows and these internal lows that they made, higher lows that they made, so now your next target is this liquidity here, right? And then here, right? So that's just, but I'm not trading. I clearly stayed away from the rest of this. And that, my friend, is how you are going to get better. You have to have rules. You have to have on the side of my desk, I have what do you call it? I have a sheet with all my rules, pretty much my steps, my playbooks, my risk, my mistakes that I make, the things that I do good, all on one sheet. I mark it. It's my pre-flight checklist, right? Before I fly off. Look at this, Dow. Higher highs. Just very suspect price action. Bullish though. That's the thing. And that's the, why are we still down where we are? So fuckery, they're just trying to hold it because everyone trades Nasdaq, dude. Everyone trades Nasdaq, bro, and everyone is interested in Nasdaq because it's tech. So it's obviously automatically the more bullish and buying. So they're it's time distortion. They're just holding the price down. Look at this shit. So this is what I meant here. Well, this is a pump dump, but if it was bullish, it would have made a new high. So it would have pumped up and then retraced and then kept buying. They stopped it. This is very rare price action. So, but drives back. To me, this is just, I don't know, man. I just don't see it buying from here. It's very myopic to think it's just going to buy from here. So it looks like a finale type of situation even, but we'll see. Coming right back to seal the opening range gap. Dude, and their weekly. Look at that. Look at that. Dude, you can't make that up, bro. That's beautiful right there. But suspect price action. Anyways, S&P, fucking another push up and a pull back in. As it consolidated and reversed, this is to me looking for sells. Honestly, got to change the deliver as it closes here. We got 12 minutes on this candle. Pretty sure it's going to close there. I don't know. I think it's going to come. I think it's going to come back in here. If anything, we're on an overbought here situation. So S&P is look at this shit here. Look at this. So, comes a hair underneath it. Pumps first. Dumps. Doesn't take that low out. This would suck even more. I'll be honest with you. This is a higher low that I would not want to buy. What does it do? Shoots the hell up. Man, dude, this today is just fucking. Again, if you were down with the dump and the pump part, I mean that's beautiful. Everything else, like you want to be involved. I guess you could be involved by selling, because if you're sorry, I'm thinking while I move this shit around. If the price is still here, right, and it hasn't gone, well, then you have to be able to be flexible and think it's going to come lower, right? And you got the signs on the wall with the price action, but doesn't mean you need to trade it. And I stepped away. So thank God for that. And we were on overbought as well. So coming back in was a little bit reasonable. The daily with the bounce, and it's very rare for the daily to hit a low like that on the RSI especially. So you see the two things. Either it's gonna really shoot up or we're gonna be knocking back our way down. So we'll see, man. Again, right back to neutral. Remember what I said about this stuff here? I made a 42-minute video. Fuck, I'm sorry, man. And you're probably like, don't say sorry, bro. But I really am, because I don't want to make them long. I don't. And then you can see here, kind of pretend bull flagging and then pulling back in more. I mean, this was a really easy shot. So, trying to come back in for some of it is a little logical. So it is what it is. But they're really selling this idea that it's a base here. So either it's prolonged, we're gonna rate up and come back down into here, or we're just gonna really sink down. But I mean, the price is up here, so it's just super neutral, man. It's just not a good place to be. Let this news roll out, and then we'll again. Best buys are right underneath this 50 of this range. Also underneath this range as well. So we're still there. We're hanging on. We're still there. But you're going to definitely need to see what I've been talking about in these videos. I just click 3 times. So, you're going to want to see this hold up. And then, if this was to be the case, it's because it wicked down. It came hard and then really pushed off. If we break this low here, I'm gonna say we're bearish. That's as simple as that. There's nothing else I can really say about that. Am I missing something here? So again, you can measure this imbalance and see if we stay underneath 50% of it. That's going to be also like if it's using it as resistance, then then you're gonna want to pay attention to those things. But yeah, you know, you really think. Look at that first imbalance from Wednesday. Look at the bodies sitting on top of it. That's from Wednesday. Look at the bodies. It's not coincidence. Yes, it's a 1 minute. It comes outside of it, but look how it's just getting held right there. And then, you know, even with this imbalance here, you can, it's an inversion. Oh, look to the tick, how that's became resistance. So where I was buying from and then it failed, yeah, I know I could sell it. I know I could sell it, but I'm not interested in selling here. So, you know, and did I have writings on the wall? Yeah, but it's, you know, it's out of my window and it's just already took the losses and, you know, missed a lot of profit with the buy. And it's just like, yo, better to step away before I get pissed, you know, and that's just experience. But there, you can see that there happening right there. And then, you know, with the first imbalance here, you can see that. Boom. You know, so yeah, it's up, down, up, down. Finally sells off right here. And then we boom underneath it. Not coincidence. You guys take care. God bless.